My hobby is history and philosophy. I actually enjoy reading them. I do it as much for enjoyment as for understanding. I find it fascinating. If you look at India, I find its history fascinating, actually. Huge country, diverse people, all kinds of languages. Still, most of us feel that there's something that unites all of us. It is amorphous, but it's a great thing, and it's done without force. Nobody else in the world has done that. So India is unique.
Yes.
To do it all without force.
What message would you like to give to the young?
Your colleagues.
Yes.
I said the
to
future
young,
of India
to the
is
young
in your
researcher,
hands.
Yeah,
That's,
young researchers.
that's my message.
Yeah.
I think it will depend on what your generation does, clearly. We are at a stage where if we make up our mind, we can have a major influence on the world. Now, many people use the word superpower, which I do not like. So I once made, for a government committee, believe it or not, what India's vision should be. Did I ever show it to you?
No.
I showed it to Prashant because we had an argument one day. Well, I'll send it to Prashant. Prashant will send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's just, it's just like a slide. See, because we were asked to do something, but every now and then we would ask ourselves, why are we doing it? Now, if you ask the government, they won't give you. There is no simple statement which tells you what they want to do in India. So after scratching my head for some time, I produced a brief statement. What I think the vision of India is for most people, most Indians. Amazingly, that committee, which had 15 people, many very distinguished, who held big positions and so on, they all agreed, They all agreed. It shows that there is something in common, which we have not actually articulated. And that if it's articulated, I think many people will believe in it. What it said was, India should remain multicultural, okay, secular. Secular in our own sense. I don't think it uses the word secular. Free democracy. Strong economically, culturally, and strategically. One of the leaders in the world in science and technology. Non-dominationist, but hard-headed. I don't think Indians want to dominate the world. It's not like the Americans or the Chinese. We don't want to dominate the world. But this gets to be soft-headed sometimes. Just because we don't want to dominate the world, it doesn't follow that other countries will not want to dominate us. So we have to be hard-headed. Non-dominationist, but hard-headed. And so on. It's a statement of that kind. I'll send you the actual words. I found that the whole thing was approved unanimously. So now I said, let's not ask ourselves that question again. How do we get there? Whether the government told us to get there or not. So I think that that's the direction which Indians like. See, when Indian science, mathematics, went west, it did not go with the sword. And even when it went east, it was not a conquering expedition at all. When British science came to India, it was a conquering expedition. Right? They took over the country. When Indian knowledge systems traveled west, it was not a conquest at all. It diffused slowly. It took centuries. It happened through the Islamic lands. They got it from us. They added their own contributions. Then they passed it on to Europe. That is how the scientific revolution, I think, started in Europe. They put all our things together and they put some Greek thought into it and made something which was extraordinary. I mean, you must take your hats off to what the West did. They did an enormous thing. But it was triggered by what they saw was happening in the East.
Yeah.
Their view of the East was very different 300 years ago. They saw East as the rich part of the world, as the cultured part of the world. There's an old Latin saying which says, from the East, light.
From the East,
Light comes from the
Yeah.
East. Okay. Ex-Oriental looks.
Mhm.
That was only 300 years ago. So why are we so bothered about our abilities and so on? I don't understand. That's what we should learn from history.
Mm.